Please subscribe to Facetv Africa and turn the notification on. Facetv Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV was Swoby.
The recent appointment by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has raised concerns on the internet as regards the inclusion of young and enterprising Nigerians in his government. The foreign level students of the University of Ibadan will be part of the Presidential Task Committee organized by the President. He would, amongst other members, participate in President Tinubu's tax reforms. But during the 2023 presidential campaign in Lagos, President Tinubu met with Nigerian youths and asked them to let him run for presidency. He said that his government will consist of young and vibrant Nigerians and that he will keep his promise when elected. He said that he believes youths can play key roles in his administration, adding that he would make them job creators mainly through infrastructural development and will create opportunities for them to explore all sectors of the economy. This is an excerpt from his campaign on the 10th of January 2023, gotten from a Business Day report. He went further to say that there is no single population that is more important than youth, that they are more in number, they are strong and intelligent. Also, former Governor Yaya Bello was there, the then National Youth Coordinator of the presidential campaign. The venue was filled to the brim as he made that promise. But for the records, there were doubts if the former Lagos governor would ever keep to his promise. When you look at the top players in Tinubu's government, one wonder if the youths are well represented. At least, President Tinubu's cabinet should consist of over 50% youths, from the presidential aides to the ministers and other sensitive positions, such as the chief of staff, secretary to the state government, or his media aides. Amongst the ministers, one would point one or two or three persons that are youths. While someone said Festus Keyamo is a youth, I wonder if Festus Keyamo will be called a youth or is an example to look at when we talk about youths in Nigeria. It's also important to note that youthful appointments should be based on integrity. Now, who is a youth? This is a conversation for another day. When you look at President Tinubu's aides, allies, loyalists, you can boldly say that the youths have not been represented so far in his cabinet. Amongst the 48 nominated ministers and presidential aides, how many youths are there? They even consist of former governors, Buhari's ministers and political allies such as Wike, who would believe that Governor Matawale of Zamfara State, that was enmeshed in corruption, would make that ministerial list. And even Ganduje, the Gandola saga, being made the chairman of the APC is the problem of the APC if they make Ganduje their chairman. To be sincere, President Tinubu's government does not really have a youthful look. Don't forget that the people that ran the Emilokon campaign over Nigeria were youths. Those that took the bullets on Twitter and defended the mandate of the president were youths. But from an unbiased perspective, the Ibadan undergraduate Orire Agbaje'S does not speak of youthful inclusiveness. Would you appoint an unexperienced mind into a cabinet of that caliber? There are questions that are being asked. Does she possess the qualification to sit on that cabinet? It is not just because she is a president of a tax club in a university that will qualify her for that appointment. We know that other members of the Presidential Task Committee may have some pedigree, but let's cut off the idea that so far, Nigerian youths have been engaged to a reasonable extent in this administration. Looking at other perspective, it is believed that she may be representing her club interest on that presidential committee, but presented a narrative that it shows youthful inclusiveness is far from the truth. Well, Nigerians on Twitter have reacted to the appointment. Let's look at the odds. Some believe that the president wants to score a cheap point and portray that he is a youthful, concerned president, but some persons do not agree with that concept. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is known for his push for taxation and revenue derivation. Whilst as Lagos governor, he pushed for tax generation and increased the state's internally generated revenue. We know from the start that he will widen the tax net, but saying that Orire Agbaje'S is a youthful representation is far from the truth, or yielding the desired result. And the appointment of Mr. Taiwo Oyedele as chairman, Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, the committee has come out to propose that Customs, 62 other MDAs will stop direct revenue collection. And we saw that Orire Agbaje'S was seen in that committee. And one would think if she was there to learn or put her experience to use, that is a 400 level student and the president of the task club, University of Ibadan. Now, Agbaje'S is the poster girl of the current administration. She will be on the media for some time as one who is an example of the Nigerian youth supported by the president. Let's look at reactions from some notable Nigerians. We have Omoyele Shore. He said he read somewhere that this lady with official badge was appointed to the tax committee, and some are upset that an ordinary student was given an appointment. Well, unlike so many senators, even the president, and recently so many of his ministers, we at least know this young lady is in school, and we know her school course of study and level, as opposed to most of the politicians running Nigeria today. No one could really tell you where they went to school. Most of them don't have level. That is from Shore. He's saying that at least we know that this girl is a 400 level student. We know her course, we know her school, but for some of Tinubu's ministers, there's nothing that you can find when it comes to tracing where they went to school, their course of study. Even that of Matawale, his CV resume popped up on the internet, and you see that he was just a teacher before he was made a governor, just a teacher, a school teacher before he was made a governor. So Sore has reacted to that, and he's saying that at least we know where the girl is, we know what her school is, we know what her course is. But what of Tinubu's ministers? And I know if you are looking at this, you know that he's saying in a way that youths are not represented. But the one that is represented in that presidential committee has a certificate. How many of Tinubu ministers do have certificates? So the idea that the youths are represented in Tinubu's cabinet, I don't think there is so much evidence to back that up. Reacting to that, somebody said we want more youths without godfathers to get elected into positions of power and authority. That is, youths amongst us that have the desire and passion to elevate lives of ordinary Nigerians and prosper the society. Youths that are not self-centered but people-centered. Okay, that is reactions on Twitter. Can we feel impact of good governance translating into a Nigeria that works for all? Youths that don't have godfathers that are elected into positions of power. Well, not too young to rule by Muhammadu Buhari during his tenure as president. And looking at the tweets, you see that some of these politicians are grooming their children to take over from them. The not too young to rule is not devoid of the fact that you must have a godfather, and that godfather must be in government. You must have connections before, as a youth, you can serve in any of the positions. But I think Orire may have served as a matter of competence, because as a president of the tax club, at least you are well positioned to work with the government. So this guy is saying that we don't want youths that are privileged. We want youths that are passionate but don't have godfathers, but as passionate as they are, as competent as they are having the opportunities to serve in the government. Looking at other reactions, we know that many people are against the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They don't see anything that is good at all when you look at some of his policies. But looking at it from that perspective, you see that the tax reform, the committee is well organized. They are doing well. They have technocrats. They have people that are well experienced to carry out the job. And it is something of good repute. Okay, somebody says, I don't support Bat, but if you choose this girl in any position, it's a good idea. But my pain is that she isn't going to be there for long, because she's been chosen by someone who stole a mandate that is going to be returned. I think that's an obedient. This is very unwise. There are better youthful candidates out there. So where is she expected to work from? And at the same time, school. If the information stated that she will be doing an internship, then I had been very happy. Like what I said, that if she was an intern, then she would garner more experience. But using that, I know many people might want to use that as a fact that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing well appointing youth into his cabinet. No, that from this reaction is she does not have the experience to work in that cabinet. If she will be doing an internship, then we can understand, and we will say, okay, yes, she is doing an internship. Okay, somebody says Orire is using the truth to attack the lies of some of the leaders. Yes, he's correct. Some of these political leaders have certificates problem. We can see from screening from the National Assembly to INEC, many of our politicians having certificate problem. These are Nigerians talking and reacting to the appointment of Ms. Agbaje'S as a member of the Presidential Tax Committee. People are not upset because she is a student, but what's her class? Is she a daughter to one of his associates in corruption, or just to deceive Nigerians about youth inclusivity? Whereas we have graduates that are first class in same field, wasting away family affair in presidency. Yes, looking at that part, family affair in presidency. Yes, there are first class students that are wasting away in the same field, but they are not appointed. So what is the reason for appointing a 400 level student? Many youths in Nigeria that study taxation, many youths that are wasting away, they are not gainfully employed. Why not spread your search net and get these guys to work in your cabinet? That's what this guy is saying. And somebody said, I'm surprised people are blaming those against this. Let's be objective. Is she a good intern? But if not, this is just clout chasing and politicking to impress. There are a lot of seasoned young economists that are young. Nigeria is dying. Let's start governance and stop clout chasing. Okay? Some people believe that this is just clout chasing. That let's stop all this clout chasing and politicking to impress. There are a lot of seasoned young economists that are young. Nigeria is dying. Let's start governance and stop clout chasing. Many believe that what President Bola Tinubu is doing is just clout chasing. So many reactions from Twitter. Twitter is a place whereby you get most reactions on the policies of government, the actions of government. Somebody says, I've learned that in our society, when it favors you and your family, everything the government does is good. But when it doesn't favor you and your family, it is bad. No one thinks about the interests of the country and the way forward in being objective to issues. This is wrong. This is from a Twitter user. Somebody says, see, if you come online and you always feel like responding to criticism, then such person is not serious. We are all agitating for inclusion. And when we get one, we still talk because it is not our brother or sister. At least this one is commendable. We hope for more. And somebody also said, we have no idea why you are against this move. It's not even a wrong move at all. Apart from that, we know her school and all. She definitely displays some level of brilliance before a final year student can be given such a post. Okay, that is from the Twitter angle. And looking at these reactions, you can see the mindset of Nigerians. They are looking at her experience, looking at we have other people that have studied taxation, brilliant students, first class students that have studied taxation that really needs that job that the president would have chosen. Some people say that since she has shown brilliance while in school, being the president of a task club shows that she has a future. And the president choosing her, it is not wrong. So far, she is a brilliant person from a prestigious school. It can be taken as, okay, kudos to the president. So they have spoken and other people are still speaking. But what is very much important is that holding the government accountable for its policies is the bedrock of democracy. So far, Ms. Agbaje'S, she has resumed, and there's a video of her in the committee giving her speech, and it is a kudos to Ms. Agbaje'S, and we expect that the government will further consider more youths in its cabinet, especially vibrant, focused, passionate, determined youth for a greater Nigeria.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe,
Face TV was Swoby.